Five, thrive, here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Huff.
Happy birthday to you. All right, we got cake. We got coffee because it wouldn't be coffee. It wouldn't be Huff without coffee. And you can smoke afterwards. So, outside. So Huff, a lot of us here knew him, and he was a mentor to many of us. Every other Sunday night for years and years and years was poetry night at Huff's house, and we met at his place on Avenue H in 43rd, which is Huff Stickler Corners in a lot of people's mind from now on. He died at the beginning of 2002 in February, and meant a lot to us. Very, very generous. Had probably over 1,000 publications in 1,000 different venues or magazines and things. He'd send out to anything. So our lineup tonight is me, I'm Joe Hoppe, Larry Thorin, Mark Smith, David Jewell, Annie Hartnett. I'll close up that section, then we'll open up the lectern to testimony and reminiscences, Huff poems. And so what I think we're all going to do is read both our own work, inspired by Huff or written on his couch or that kind of thing, and then Huff poems. And I'm going to read my very, very favorite Huff poems because they're just great poems. All right, so we begin with Arby's Brenda alphabetically, but this also should set the tone for who Huff was writing for. Arby's Brenda. I'm not really sure I could live with happy people. The small, middle-aged woman across from me on the bus wears an Arby's name tag. Her name is Brenda, and she wears the bright, impossible smile of lonely people everywhere. That smile that's both an invitation to kindness and a shield against rejection. A smile much like my own. I think of all the middle-aged people in the world who work at fast food places and ride the bus home evenings. I think of small cluttered rooms with black and white TVs and windows overlooking an alley. How we never think of pale middle-aged people who work in fast food places, dying of love or nursing secret ambitions to be president or fly a jet, be a movie star or write a bestseller. The truth is, and here's the tragedy, we never think of these people at all. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it weren't possible for a person to live out his whole life without giving a moment's thought to a single middle-aged employee of a fast food place anywhere. Now tell me this, is it just me? Or doesn't it seem to you that there's something impossibly wrong somewhere? We're going to go deeper, folks. One of my all-time favorites, The Suit. I'll try to get through it. I embarrassed myself in my class this fall and kind of got a little teary. But I'll try not to do that. The Suit. There's a certain kind of suit that never was new. Its first memories are of goodwill or the Salvation Army or St. Vincent de Paul's. There's nothing you can do to disguise it. Cleaning may remove the stains, but it will not alter the aura. Color, dark gray or blue with a thin brown stripe. Double-breasted, wide lapels, pant legs wide all the way down to the cuffs. loose at waist and crotch, like army fatigues, not quite fitting any body but adaptable to all. It reeks of poverty, of sleepless nights in flop houses, dreary, aimless days on city streets. It has never been fully pressed, and its wrinkles are the wrinkles on the faces of destitute men hunched at the doors of soup kitchens, or the wrinkles beneath the eyes of aging whores standing beneath street lamps on cold corners. This suit has existed from the beginning of time. Mary's alcoholic brother, never mentioned in the Bible, wore one to the crucifixion. And contrary to public opinion, Jesus himself wore one at the Last Supper. It is the uniform of the disenfranchised. It hangs on a man's body like a shroud, and worse, it anchors him to his status. To go up in the world, he must first get rid of the suit. To rid himself of the suit, he must rise above his condition. They give them to inmates of asylums and prisons when they release them, to be sure they'll remember what they are and come back. And they are given to old men in homes for the aged to remind them that they're useless. Accessories: a blue work shirt and faded tie or stained sweatshirt. On the sockless feet, brogans, or worse, someone's discarded dress shoes. Laces knotted and re-knotted, insides lined with cardboard to protect the feet where the soles have worn through. There you have it, the ensemble of poverty, instantly recognized in any country in the world. Sufficient justification for slamming the door in the face or demanding to see a person's money before he's served. The wearer of such a costume will automatically become the first to be questioned at the scene of a crime and the last to be released. He is insulted without provocation and punished on a whim, and no one questions that he deserves it. He's wearing the suit, isn't he? And obviously, the way of curing him of wearing the suit is to punish him by degrading him further. After all, it's for his own good. Well, someday there won't be suits like that. But before that day comes, a lot of things will have happened. The mighty will have been brought low and the humble exalted. And for a long time, before it finally vanishes, the wearer of that suit will be honored wherever he walks, as though he were wearing the robes of the king. So Huff, he put his money where his mouth was, and we used to go volunteer at the Austin State Hospital, and that was a lot of fun. I think, 93 and 94 maybe, but I think we went like 18 months or almost 2 years, once a month, and we'll do a little social announcement or whatever. So the folks that we got to see were transitional folks. They were going to go back out into the world. And there's two things about everybody there. One is they're all poor, right? They didn't have much money or they wouldn't have been there. And the other thing was, almost to a human being, it was medication problems. That was why they were there. And once they got straightened up on their meds, they'd go back into the world. But it was a lot of fun. And it was a little bit like this. I tried to capture it. Reading at the Austin State Hospital with Albert Huffstickler. They're ready for us when we show up this particular third Friday of the month. Those who will sitting on bright painted metal chairs, vaguely rode out over the courtyard's lumpy lawn. Some clutching their own poems out in the open, mouthed silently to make certain of proper presentation. Others with paper folded up secret in shirt pockets or socks for safekeeping, tapped on every so often to make sure that they're still there. Huff, baggy pants and suspender, long of hair and tooth, shuffles his own poems around, getting his set together. I listen to the middle-aged woman in the print dress, thick glasses shining but not as brightly as her happy, brittle voice. Did I tell you that what my little boy said when I called him up last week when we took that trip? He said, "Oh, Mama, who let you out?" It was the funniest thing. "Oh, Mama, who let you out?" I told him not to worry. I had people here guarding me. "Oh, Mama," he said. Then Huff is ready to roll and reads of loneliness and the impossible love affairs we invent when someone is simply kind to us, and dentures and roomy-eyed dogs and the sad, relentless search for somewhere just to be, that myth of a place called home, all in a long, thought-out heart of a voice our audience can resound with and know that it's not only crazy people who feel these things, no matter how the staff and doctors come across. And the paying attention tension, the striving for understanding is purely palpable there in the summer evening air, so stretched sometimes it breaks off into restlessness for young guys who start circling, compelled towards karate kicks at metal porch poles, or the woman who begins clapping and can't stop until it becomes something else. It's no longer applause. She has to finish making all of the tortillas for her cousin's wedding. Or the big man with eyes sunk so far back into his head it's hard to see how he can see. It breaks into an interpretive dance to show his appreciation. It's the just being there as much as anything they hear. When it's my turn to get up and read, we travel those poems together for sometimes only seconds at a time, a string of words, a single line, what's received a pure uncertainty, though there's almost always someone to talk about tattoos, motorcycles, fireworks, mishaps, or being on the bum when it's all done and we're just talking. But before we're just talking, it's still the talk where we're listening, where the stool is open and everything is poetry, lists and explanations, clang associations. The world is a broken egg on a big black frying pan, the people salt and pepper. A heavy girl sings of the stars in the night, moving her hands up and down a scale, butterflies shined up by old Indian tribes, boyfriends, girlfriends, and God all get petitioned and praised, prejudice condemned, jailhouse poems recited and everything else said and read, and exhausted old toasts, kind of jokes are spoken so that just about everyone has had some piece to speak. We stand around drinking orange drink from small paper cups. There's cake sometimes. And Huff hands out cigarettes to anyone with the presence of mind to ask, jump-starting each one from his own in this place without matches. Then the staff person starts unlocking the doors, and we all know that it's time to go. Everyone is wish good luck. Hope we won't see you when we come back next month. And I've got two closing poems which we'll save. Our order is Larry Thorne's up next, Mark Smith, David Jewell, Annie Hartnett. I'll come back and then we will open the lectern, or the music stand.